thank Father Dwayne McNew, the pastor here, and his congregation for allowing us to use this facility. It's a beautiful facility, isn't it? And they've got a new sound system here so we can all hear well this year. We want to give a special thanks to Tim Sublett and Jeff and all the folks at Tim Horton. The coffee back there today was donated by them. So we hope you'll all go and patronize Tim Hortons over the next few weeks, and thanks for their donation to the cause of life today. We want to also just make a special mention. We kind of had a sad occurrence over the last year in our chapter. Back in 1973, our chapter was started by Lila Donnelly. She was our president for many years, and Lila went home to heaven back in September. And we just want to remember her and all the work that she did for our chapter over the years. We actually renamed our annual life chain in October after Lila, and we just want to, just say a special note about her today because we still miss her and her hard work with the chapter. And of course, Dottie Sheets worked for years with the chapter too, and is also in heaven now. But just want to remember the work that she did. We want to recognize a couple people here today. Our state representative, Dr. Terry Johnson. Can you stand, Terry, so they can all see you? Terry represents Scioto County and parts of Adams and Lawrence County, the 89th District. We're thankful to have a doctor who is pro-life and advancing the cause for us in Columbus. And, of course, he's up for re-election this year. We also want to recognize Patty Eaker, who is here representing her husband, Joe. Can you stand, Patty? Joe is the state representative from the 66th District from Clermont County. He is a pro-life candidate for state senate this year, and he just recently received Ohio Right to Life's honor roll status for his sponsorship of HB 78, the Viable Infant Protection Act that was recently passed into law. And if you think it's not important for state representatives to be pro-life, you need to take a look at what's happened just over the past year. I won't go into the details. I'll let Bradley hit some of that. But there's been a lot of victories in the state legislature over the past year. And we are very thankful for that. I did want to figure out how many different churches in the area are represented here today. I know there's several of us here from Rubyville Community. I know the Apostolic Gospel Church is represented. Jeremy Harrisonville Free Will Baptist, St. Mary's, I believe, and Holy Redeemer are represented. Christ Community is represented. What other churches are represented here today? Anyone shout your church's name out? Joe, what's your church?
Calvary Chapel.
Calvary Chapel. Terry?
Cornerstone United Methodist.
Cornerstone United Methodist. Any others?
Ohio Furnace Baptist.
What is it?
Ohio Furnace Baptist.
Ohio Furnace Baptist from up at Franklin Furnace. Okay, we're glad to have you all here today. We just had our signature ads just here a few days ago, and several of your names were in it. That was in the Portsmouth Daily Times and the Community Common. Thank you for including your names in those ads. You may have noticed in the ads that we know that we've had 910 mothers in Scioto County who have aborted their children from 1997 to 2010. There is a lot of success being made. Abortions are down in Ohio 41% since 1981. However, there were still 28,000 precious babies aborted in Ohio last year alone. And we have a lot of work left to do. Cindy Kraft and I attended an Ohio Right to Life meeting just yesterday. There's a lot of things on the agenda over the next year, and we'll be sending you information about that. We try to keep you posted on things that are coming up for a vote in the legislature. And one of the goals this year is to take taxpayer money away from Planned Parenthood and try to divert that money to the pregnancy centers. And that's a goal that Right to Life has in our state. There was just a resolution introduced in the House last week to honor pregnancy centers. It's just kind of a statement, you know, as a lot of those resolutions are, but it will show support for the pregnancy centers and the work we do. Hopefully, you know, we have a pregnancy center here in Portsmouth at the Carousel Center, the Cradle Pregnancy Center, and we have information about them at our website. Speaking of our website, that is www.sciotolife.org. We also have a Facebook page. We also have an email list. If you didn't sign in, please make sure you sign in. And if you want to receive live updates from us on your email, sign up on that list and we'll add you to the list to get our updates. The Right to Life is working to increase regulations on abortion clinics. They're not even regulated like laser eye clinics are or other medical clinics in the state. And they're working with the Ohio Department of Health to improve reporting and make sure that the laws that are in place are being followed. It's going to be very important to have a pro-life president elected. There's 3 Supreme Court justices that are in their 70s. One of them's almost 80, and that's very important to be looking at the upcoming election and support a pro-life candidate. And you know, as a Right to Life chapter, we have a status that doesn't allow us to endorse candidates. We will be letting you know who the Ohio Right to Life PAC endorses. We will let you know what candidates' records are so that you can make an informed decision about that. Events during the year, we're getting ready to have an egg sale here soon, Easter egg sale, to try to raise some money. We have a fair booth at the Scioto County Fair if anyone wants to help us work that. If we get some help, we need some additional help. There's so many different projects. We'd like to get back in the River Days Parade. We didn't do that this year because we just didn't have enough bodies floating around, but that would be great if anyone would like to take that on as a project. In October, the first Sunday in October, we have our annual Life Chain in the Vinyl Craft parking lot in New Boston. We do our signature ads, and we're always looking for liaisons from area churches. I want to recognize Sue Ellen Simpson took on that role this year for Christ Community after Lila's death. We appreciate her and Paul's help. And you know, all that basically means is you let your church know what's going on at your church and try to get them signed up for signature ads and coming out and supporting Right to Life activities. We are taking donations today. If you want to give any, we do need to point out that we are a 501c4, so those donations are not tax deductible. But you know, we appreciate anything you can do for us. And our next chapter meeting is going to be February 23rd. We understand the location on that may change. So if you're looking at our website and our Facebook and our email, we'll let you know the details of that next meeting. I want to introduce our speaker today. We're very honored to have him. Bradley Mattis is the Executive Director and Co-Founder of Life Issues Institute, internationally headquartered in Cincinnati. Many of you may be aware of Dr. Jack Wilkie, who's kind of a founding father of the pro-life movement, and he works alongside with Dr. Wilkie there at Life Issues Institute, which that organization was actually established to serve the educational needs of the pro-life movement, and their primary objective is to globally develop and disseminate effective pro-life educational material. And I can't think of their their website right off the top of my head, but I'm sure Bradley will share that. I've been following them on Facebook and Twitter, and Bradley puts a lot of good information on there. And Bradley himself is an Emmy Award-winning host and executive producer of a weekly pro-life television program called Facing Life Head On. It's available to more than 200 million households throughout America and Canada, so he's a TV star. So, he also hosts Life Issues, a daily radio commentary on abortion and related issues that's carried on over 1,043 radio outlets across the nation. And he's hosted various half-hour radio programs on topics including the anniversary of Roe v. Wade, adoption, men and abortion, and U.S. Supreme Court vacancies. I know he was just over in Washington, D.C. at the big March for Life, as was Julie Van Hoos and some others here. There was a group that went over. Just a little side note, he actually was part of that meeting in Texas a couple weekends ago where some of the conservatives were getting together in the nation to talk about presidential candidates. So he's highly respected, you know, as a conservative pro-life advocate in our country. He's a frequent international speaker and lecturer on abortion and related life issues. He's done a lot of research on the effects of abortion on men. He was commenting on the signs out there that talked about how it affects men. And he has a master's degree in biblical studies and biblical counseling. He's an adjunct professor at Masters International School of Divinity. and he has written and teaches a course on men and abortion. And he also serves on the board of directors of the Terry Chavo Life and Hope Network. And he's a veteran of the whole cause, the pro-life cause. He's got more than 36 years of educational, political, and humanitarian experience. He's a post-abortion counselor for men. We already talked about him being a media spokesperson for the cause. And he speaks at a lot of pro-life events, just like this one. We're happy to have his wife Ellen with him today. They reside in Cincinnati, and they have 4 sons and 2 grandchildren. Please welcome Bradley Mattis.